Let's look at problems 3 and 4 on your sheet that give us examples of converting within the household system. Problem 3 says, how many teaspoons are equivalent to 6 tablespoons? All right, so we have 6 tablespoons. We want to know what is that equivalent to if you had been measuring that liquid using teaspoons. Tablespoons, teaspoons are devices used, units used to measure liquid volume in the household system. So we need to take a look at our equivalence chart for the household system. And we see that 1 tablespoon is equal to 3 teaspoons. So since we have a direct relationship between tablespoons and teaspoons, if we want to get from tablespoons to teaspoons, it will only take us 1 conversion fraction. So I want to eliminate tablespoons, so that dimension, that unit of measure needs to go in the denominator. I want to end up with teaspoons, so that unit of measure, that dimension needs to go in the numerator of my conversion fraction. And now I use this equivalence to tell me what numbers to place into my fraction. 1 goes with tablespoon when 3 goes with teaspoon. So now the tablespoons will cancel. The multiplication we have, 6 times 3 gives us 18 teaspoons, is measuring the same amount of liquid as 6 tablespoons would be measuring. So here's an example of converting with liquid measure in the household system. Let's take a look at another example. Problem 4 gives you another example of converting within the household system. It's also another example of converting when you're dealing with liquid measurement. It says, convert 11 pints to quarts. Convert 11 pints to the equivalent that would be if you were measuring using a quart measuring device. Well, if we look at our equivalence chart, we see that there's a direct equivalence between pints and ounces. 1 pint is the same amount of liquid as 16 ounces. Whoops, I'm sorry, we're going from pints to quarts here. 1 quart is 2 pints. Need to have the right equivalence if we're going to convert properly. 1 quart is the same amount of liquid measured as if you were to measure 2 pints. So we can use this direct relationship to get from pints to quarts. I'm going to put my conversion fraction in. I want pints to be canceled out. So in my conversion fraction, the unit of measure pint needs to go in the denominator. I want quarts to remain. So the unit of measure quart needs to be in the numerator of my conversion fraction. And this tells me how to put in the numbers. 1 goes with quart when 2 is with pint. So the pints cancel, leaving me the dimension of quarts, which is the dimension I wanted. And now I can do this arithmetic. 11 times 1/2, that's 11 halves, which is 5 1/2. So 11 pints is equivalent to measuring 5 1/2 quarts of a liquid. Now it's important to realize this when you are expressing values in the household system. Typically you use fractions, although decimals can be used. When you are expressing numbers in the metric system, we always express them as decimals. We do not use fractions in the metric system. The metric system always uses decimal values, whereas the household uses fraction or decimal. So here are 2 examples of converting within the household system.